A group of caring experts recently looked into a very interesting pattern. They found that nearly 97% of men over the age of 50 miss the very second a woman starts to show interest in them. This does not happen because these men are not smart or because they are out of touch with the world. It happens because the way people show attraction changes as we get older. When you are younger, everything is loud and obvious. But for a woman in her 50s or 60s, she is not going to grab your arm or giggle like a young girl. She is not going to look you in the eyes and say those bold words, "I like you," or ask you out for a drink right away. Instead, she will use a different approach. She will ask a question. It will be a soft question, a casual question, and one that seems totally harmless on the surface. But in reality, that question is a quiet way of opening a door to see if you will walk through it. If you do not notice the door, it closes just as quietly as it opened. This is how so many wonderful moments just slip away into the night. You walk away from the conversation thinking it was just a nice chat about the weather or the news. Meanwhile, she walks away thinking that you simply are not interested in her. You did not do anything wrong, but you did not say the right thing because you did not see what she was really trying to do. This guide is all about those moments. We are going to talk about those quiet questions that do not sound like romance at all. They show up as small looks, quick comments, or little probes that women use when they want to test the water before they jump in. Over the next few minutes, I want to walk you through 8 very specific questions that women ask when they like you, but are too careful or too respectful to say it out loud. You will learn what she is really asking, why those words matter so much, and how you can answer in a way that shows you are still interested without sounding like you are trying too hard. The truth is that for men over 50, you do not need to work harder to find connection. You just need to notice more of what is already happening right in front of you. Once you start to see these signs, you will find warmth where you thought there was just small talk. You will find real attraction where you once felt like you were invisible to the world. Let us look at the first question. It seems very simple, but it is one of the biggest tests a man can face. She might look at you and ask, "How old are you really?" It sounds like she is just being playful, but when she adds that little word "really," she is not looking for a number on a birth certificate. She knows you are not a young man in his 20s. She is checking to see how you feel about yourself. She wants to know if you carry your age like a heavy weight or if you carry it like a badge of honor. Your answer tells her everything about your heart. If you get nervous or make a joke about how old and tired you are, she might laugh, but the spark between you will start to fade. She is not looking for a man who wishes he was younger. She is looking for a man who is happy to be exactly who he is right now. She wants to see life and energy in you. Men who stand out are the ones who have made peace with their own story. They can smile and say that they are old enough to know what truly matters in life, but young enough to still have a great time. I remember a man named Rick. He was 64 years old with silver hair and a very nice way of dressing. He was at a jazz club one night talking to a woman in her early 50s who was very smart and elegant. They were having a great time talking back and forth. Then she leaned in and asked that question. "So how old are you really?" Rick tried to be funny and said, "Too old for you?" She laughed, but it was not a warm laugh. Rick felt the energy leave the room immediately. He realized later that he had dodged the moment instead of leaning into it. These questions are not like job interviews. They are invitations to get closer. When you answer with doubt or make fun of yourself, she hears that you do not value yourself. As we get older, we all have some scars and fears. Women feel that. When they ask about your age, they are asking if you are still excited to be alive. Next time this happens, do not look for a punchline. Treat it like a door that she has unlocked for you. If she is asking, she is already thinking that there might be a chance for something more. The way you respond to this seemingly innocent question can either draw her closer or push her gently away. She wants to feel that the man standing in front of her is comfortable in his own skin and ready to embrace whatever life has to offer next. Another question that can be surprising is when a woman asks, "Why aren't you married?" If she says this with a kind voice, she is not judging you. She is asking because she is interested, but she is also being careful. She wants to know if you are emotionally ready for someone new. She is wondering if there is space in your daily life for a person like her. This is where many good men make a mistake. They might start telling the whole sad story of their divorce or their past heartbreaks. Or they might get defensive and say they never want to get married again. Both of those answers close the window of opportunity. She does not need a long history lesson. She is listening to see if you are still carrying your past like heavy luggage that you refuse to unpack. A better way to answer is to be steady and honest. You could say that life has kept you busy, but you finally feel like you have space for something real now. I once knew a man named Gerald. He was 67 and liked to work with his hands in his garden. He met a woman there, and they were talking about growing tomatoes. Eventually, she asked him why a man like him was not married. Gerald got very stiff and gave a short answer about how things did not work out in the past. He changed the subject quickly. The woman stopped coming to the garden after that. Gerald realized too late that she was asking because she was interested in him, not just being nosy. These moments arrive very quietly. They are disguised as casual talk. In her mind, she is feeling a spark, but she does not want to be the only one taking a risk. If you sound bitter, she will move away. If you sound open and warm, like a man who is ready for a new chapter, she will feel safe to move closer. When she asks why you are single, give her a reason to be glad she asked, not a reason to regret it. Show her that you have learned from the past, but that you are not trapped there. Women at this age understand that everyone has a history, but what they really want to know is whether you have made peace with yours and are ready to write a new story with someone who truly matters. Sometimes a woman will ask, "Do you date younger women?" This can be a tricky one for men. Some see it as a compliment and others think it is a trap. But really, she is checking to see if you are open to her. She is asking if you could see her as more than just a friend. She wants to know if you value the person in front of you more than a number on a calendar. She is looking to see if you make her feel seen and respected. Men often fail this part of the test. Some start bragging about dating much younger women to show off. Others say they are too old for her, which kills the conversation before it even starts. Both of these answers miss the heart of what she is saying. She is really asking, "Do I have a chance with you?" A good answer keeps the focus on the connection between the two of you. You might say that you do not care about age as much as you care about energy and how well you get along with someone. I knew a man named Marcus who was 59. He met a woman in her mid-40s at a bookstore. They had coffee and a great talk. When she asked if he usually dated younger women, he just smiled and said he likes women who bring good energy into his life. He told her that clicking with someone is what matters most. She did not just smile politely. She looked at him with real interest. That led to dinner and a real relationship. That is the power of being present. When she asks this, she is often asking for permission to be interested in you. She wants to know you will meet her halfway and not make her feel silly for liking you. At this stage of life, attraction is not about games. It is about being kind and keeping that door open. She wants to feel that you see her for who she is and not just as a comparison to someone else. When you answer this question with grace and focus on the quality of connection rather than arbitrary numbers, you show her that you are a man who understands what truly matters in building something meaningful with another person. Another common question is, what kind of woman do you usually go for? This is not just small talk. She is comparing herself to the picture in your head. She is trying to see if she fits into your life. The mistake men make here is listing specific physical things like hair color or hobbies. When you do that, she is watching you closely. She wants to know if you are stuck chasing an old fantasy or if you are looking for a real human connection. She wants to know if you have grown as a person. The best move is to talk about qualities that matter, like being kind or being able to laugh on a hard day. These are things she can see in herself. If she is asking, she likely hopes she is your type. Elliot, a retired firefighter I knew, was painting a fence with a woman he liked. When she asked what kind of woman he liked, he said he liked someone who makes a place feel peaceful just by being there. She stayed late to help him clean up and told him she hoped she was his type. That is how attraction grows naturally. She is gathering clues to decide if she should get closer or stay away. So, do not describe a dream girl. Describe the kind of friendship and love you actually want to build. Talk about the emotional qualities that create a foundation for something lasting. When you shift the conversation from surface level preferences to deeper values, you signal to her that you are looking for something real and that you have the emotional maturity to recognize what truly sustains a relationship over time. She might also ask, "Are you always this charming?" This usually comes with a soft laugh. It is a big compliment, but it is also a test. She is acknowledging the spark she feels and seeing if you can handle it. She wants to know if you can stay in the moment without hiding behind a joke. Many men get shy and say something silly to deflect the praise. When they do that, the spark goes away. A better way to respond is to stay grounded. You could say you are only this way when you are around someone special who brings it out in you. This tells her that you see her and you are not afraid of the chemistry between you. Alan, a man in his late 60s, was at a dinner when a woman asked him this. He smiled and asked her if she was always this curious. She looked at him in a way that showed they were finally moving past just being friends. This question is about chemistry. It is an opening to move deeper. Your job is not to put on a show, but to just be there and accept the kindness she is offering. When a woman gives you a compliment like this, she is actually giving you permission to acknowledge what is happening between the two of you. She is inviting you to step into the possibility of something more without fear or hesitation. The way you receive her words can either build the bridge between you or leave it half constructed. Then there is the question, why don't you have a girlfriend? This means she is wondering if there is a place for her in your world. She is checking your emotional availability. If you say you like being alone or that relationships are too much work, you are closing the door. She wants to know if you are open to love. The best answer leaves room for her. You might say you have been waiting for something that feels truly real. William, a 71-year-old man, was asked this at an art gallery. He said he spent time becoming a better man and was now ready for a better kind of love. She could not take her eyes off him after that. Women at this age are just as scared of being rejected as men are. They ask these brave questions to see if it is safe to care about you. When she asks why you are alone, she is really asking if your heart has space for someone like her. She wants to know that you are not just passing time, but that you are genuinely open to building something meaningful. Your answer should reflect both self-awareness and hope. It should show that you value yourself enough to have standards, but that you are also humble enough to welcome the right person into your life when she appears. Finally, she might ask, would you ever date someone like me? This is a very vulnerable thing to ask. She is putting herself right in front of you. Many men freeze because they do not want to say the wrong thing, so they change the subject. That makes her feel very exposed and embarrassed. The best answer is simple and honest. You could just say that you would be very lucky to date someone like her. Charlie, who was in the military for a long time, was on a walk with a woman when she asked this. He told her that he was already dating her in his mind. She took his hand and did not let go. These questions are not just words, they are doors being unlocked. The real question is never just what she says on the surface. The real question is whether you are brave enough to notice the invitation and step forward when the moment arrives. It is about seeing the heart behind the words and being man enough to meet her there. If you can do that, you will find that the world is much warmer and more full of love than you ever imagined. Life after 50 is not about the end of the story. It is about starting a chapter that is deeper and more meaningful because you finally know how to listen to what is really being said in the quiet moments between two people.